guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is indeed a beautiful day right here in Nyeri Town. And guess what, guys? Today we are going to look at tomato farming in Nyeri Town. Now the thing about this farming is that it is being done 1.5 kilometers away from the Nyeri CBD, and we are in the farm of Mr. David Monyoro, who is going to explain to us the process of seedling farming for the tomatoes all the way to when they are ready to be harvested. Now I know how important that vegetable is, in the guacamole, in the salad, in your food. So please pay attention, because this episode is for you, the farmer who wants to start this kind of farming. My name is Washirai Konyo, and I hope that you're going to enjoy this episode. Keep it locked. So guys, we're right here at the farm, and as you can look behind me, we have the seedlings for the tomatoes. But of course, we have Mr. David, who is here with me. Is going to introduce himself and tell us his journey in tomato farming. Of course, explain to us about this type of farming. Karibu sana sir, please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm David Kingori, as David Monyoro Kingori, alias Kararo, as you have heard. I'm a tomato farmer. And I started this farming way back 1986 when I came out of school. Okay. And I have been doing this business for the last 30 years.
Okay, all right. So, well, we are still going to have a conversation with you about your journey in tomato farming. But you can maybe start us off with this seedling. So tell us, do you have types of tomatoes that maybe you can tell us the type of tomatoes that you farm?
Well, we have so many varieties. Well, we have so many types of types of tomato seeds, but they differ of the variety you are to plant. Yes. Because most we don't go for seeds, because normally there are some seeds that go on this altitude or there are altitude. At the same time, we do the farming of tomato through the seeds that will be marketable, profitable, because we normally do business for. We want for business or making money. Yes. So we go for those hybrids seeds. Especially we normally go from the recently improved seeds for higher yields. Okay. Yep. All
right. So maybe you can go straight into the farm and explain to us where do we start? Where do we start when farming seedlings for tomatoes? Maybe unaweza kuja hii side.
But before I go far, the seeds you can see right now, I've never planted this seed before. But I was given the idea by one of my co-worker that we should try this by the name Zaria F1.
Zaria F1.
Zaria F1 is the one that we can see in there. Despite that heavy rain, from where I have seen, it has improved this very well. It is doing very well. But since there was a lot of rain, we just have to stay the way it is.
Okay. All right, you're still going to talk about the flooding in Kenya and how your tomatoes are doing, because you can see they're in a very, very good state. Maybe you're going to explain to us how you have been able to manage that. So maybe you can start from where we start. Where do we start when we are planting the seedlings?
In the first place, you can't do anything without having the knowledge of whatever you're doing. Yes. So we had some basic information or education about farming. When we want to plant our seeds, we normally go for, because those seeds are very costly, we do not put it in the soil directly. We normally use trays to put those seeds. Yes. We use the cockpit soil, halafu for every tray tunaweka bego moja moja. So by so doing, it essence, even the time for planting, it won't go back. So when we transplant from the seedlings to the nursery to the present plant, it is just kick on.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you said that the tomatoes, do they thrive in all types of soils, or do they only do well in red soil?
No. They do not thrive, because some soil are not that favorable for tomato farming. Yes. Also, we have seen the altitude. The variety that is grown in Kenya cannot be grown here. Okay. The variety that can be grown to Fedi, Kenya, it cannot be grown here. Yes. So we normally go for how does this particular seeds perform in this particular area. Right. And that's why we normally choose the elective. We have the extension officers who normally comes at the advisors on the way to go.
Okay. All right, but maybe we can talk about the spacing of the seedlings. Maybe we can move right here. I can see you also have like some trenches here. You can also talk about the spacing and also the amount of water that the seedlings need.
In the first place, this is to drain the water because there was a lot of water. That's why we have done that. Okay. Normally we do not do that. But about whatever we have done here, this is where the water can be cached. When we put water, and you have to ask it for, because normally we put water or we wet the plants after once a week. Okay. So that's why you see we have put this kind of bunches to trough to control to hold that water.
Okay. Okay. So
spacing, spacing there must be a good spacing because when this plant become mature, it camouflage. So it also needs some space. Also, the one who will be working needs good place for movement when working on them.
All right. So can you do like mixed farming? Mixed farming, is it when you mix up different crops, or can you do like tomatoes with other types of crops, or they have to be farmed by themselves?
You can do it, but not at this stage. In fact, when this tomato gets to another certain stage, you can use some maize. Those maize also will be used as with the brockage.
Okay, how old are the seedlings?
Those are just 1 month.
Oh, 1 month.
1 month.
All right. So how tall do they grow? Maybe you can, after this, we're going to go and look at the mature seedlings. And of course, we're going to discuss about how many tomatoes each seedling will carry. Let's talk about the manure and the fertilizer. What manure do you use? Or
you had to ask how about the height.
Yes.
We normally go by the variety. You know, there was some grow in a bush, or they grow to giant. Others they are medium. So we normally go for those that not ever grow that big, because the bigger the plant is, the more it consumes the chemicals we normally spray. About the manure, we use all types of manure. Now mostly we use goat manure, cow manure. At home we have kept hens, so we use poultry manure. There was a time I was using pig manure, and also human manure in it organic.
All right, so we do have the big tomatoes and we have the really small tomatoes. I don't know what the variety they are called. So maybe we can talk about just a little bit about the small tomatoes that I think I normally use. I don't know where in particular, but they're actually these small tomatoes that are normally farmed in Kenya. Do you know some knowledge about those types of tomatoes?
Those small ones, they're called the dwarf plants. Those normally grow wildly. I think that I have never find somebody doing that farming, because not unless you are doing it for your own domestic use, but for market price or for business, you cannot do them.
Okay. Speaking of market, maybe you can tell us about the market of the tomatoes. How is it in the market?
Right now, the market is very good, because you know some of the farmers, although it's not alike, some tomato fields have been flooded. Yes. So it means everything has been destroyed. Yeah. So the little that is remaining, they are fetching a lot of good money.
Yes. Of course, we do have the tomato costs. Prices are varying in Kenya right now. 1 kg of tomatoes is going for around 70 shillings and 80 shillings. But with time, when the weather is okay, as you can see in Nyeri, we are blessed with lots of sunshine. And so as we move, so we keep on moving. Okay, so maybe we can you can tell us about Oh yeah. Okay, so how long does our seedling take to mature?
As you have heard, that tomatoes have so many varieties. Farmers varies from days of harvesting. From the time you plant, from you remove them from the nursery to normally, being a business a farmer in business, and you want to make money, we always go for the seeds or for the plant that will go and take a little time to grow. Normally, these are taking 80 days. From 80 days. So those are 2 months. 20 days, you start going to the market.
All right. Okay, so maybe what are some of the challenges that you go through while you are doing this type of farming?
Challenges one, we have these challenges of the seedlings. AG, which is 60 bob.
Ah, 60 bob.
60 shillings, almost.
Okay. Okay, and what about this one?
There was a lot of water.
Oh.
You know, there's the problem where when it gets that the water is trying to find some way out. That's why you see it cracking.
Oh, okay, but it doesn't mean that it's bad.
Not bad at all.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because there's no effect of any insect that has.
Okay.
See your asthma.
Now, when it's been consumed, must it be red in color?
No, it doesn't. It means it depends on how you want it.
Okay.
Because also normally, see, our vegetables is green.
Yeah.
We also, it can also be a vegetable.
Okay, so when you're making that guacamole, you don't have to make it red. You can make it green. Guacamole is my favorite, so.
Lemba, it normally uses, for instance, there's all these plants. I've invested something to do with 50,000, hoping to have double of that.
Okay. And does it give back?
It normally gives up because it is just for a month. 1 month in the nursery, 2 months, 2.5 months, it gets ready. Then you harvest for 3 months. Okay. So it is just a barely 5 months. Your money is back. Okay.
And how big is your land? And maybe compared to your land, how much labor do you recruit?
Labor depends on the whatever you have put down. Because when you have it, you want to farm, have an acre.
Okay. So how big is yours?
Mine can be more than half. It's almost 1.5 acre, but not this one, somewhere else.
Okay. All right, I can see you. When you're selling, do you have any challenges like middlemen, maybe who come in between your purchase?
In every world, you want to miss a middleman there, because some of those things are there around who are well acquitted too. But for myself, I don't have that challenge because if I farm and I just do it as if I'm doing it in the market, because they normally come for those who go to retail. They come direct to my farm. Okay. They also the loam grass. Because it is a family of the maize, so we normally use the other because that grass, it is even hard to convert to be manure at the same time. But the other thing, with the this is the normal rot in that speedy manner. Pesticide mingi. About the insects, there are so many those pests, but every pest has its own control. Beside.
It's about the natural ways in which you use to control the pests.
There's this pepper. There is this Mexican gourd. We normally do some fermenting. If at all we not go for those natural pesticides, we know use the recommended pest controls. Yeah. Costing 12,800. This is Stachyas from South Africa. 1,000 seeds going for 2,300.
Kenyan shillings.
Kenyan shillings, that is. Right. Yep. And why I'm recommending for their use or their performance, they perform better and they are good for this climate and altitude. Yep. Also market-wise, these Stachyas and the other Anzal, they are good at market, because when we normally go, we ask what type of tomato have you planted? When you say another plant, they say, I thought it was the other one. So we normally go for the one that is good for the market, high yield, and also resistant, tolerable.
All right. So, dear farmers and dear clients, please take note of that. So guys, thank you so much for watching that, and I hope that if you're a farmer who is willing to start this type of farming, that you've gotten some of the insights that you might need as a farmer, and also our dear clients. And of course guys, we've also learned about that organic farming that we should apply on our tomatoes to ensure that you get the best tomatoes. So guys, I hope that this episode has been good, and also that you've gotten to learn some of the information that you have been provided by our good gentleman Mr. David. So thank you so much for watching this episode, and I hope that you are going to enjoy the episode. You are going to put the number on the screen, and of course make sure that you subscribe and share to as many people as possible. I've been your host Washerage Konyo, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.